everyone, welcome. My name is Jessica and today I'll be guiding you through a relaxing evening yoga for beginners. This is a perfect way to calm down after a long day and to prepare you for sleep. For today's practice, you will be needing one block. If you don't have a block, that's perfectly okay. You can either grab a thick book or you can just do the posture without a block. We are going to begin today seated in a forward fold. So we're going to extend our legs out in front of us. Flex your toes towards the ceiling and start by sitting up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders down and away from your ears. Use your hands to help lift and lengthen your spine. And then with this long spine, start to walk your hands forward until you start to feel a stretch in your hamstrings or the backs of your legs. And then allow your body to round down and forward. Perfectly okay here if you would like to take a bend in your legs. And you can allow your forearms to come down to the mat if you have the space, or perhaps you walk them forward to grab a hold of your shins, your ankles, or your feet, wherever feels good for you in this moment. Allow your head to relax down. Try not to hold any tension in your neck. And take a moment to bring some awareness to your breath. Breathe in and out through your nose. And try to make your exhales just a little bit longer than your inhales. Deep breath in, slow and steady breath out. Try to allow yourself to come into the present moment, whatever that means for you right now. And perhaps it's just setting aside the day you've had. It'll be there for when you come off of your mat, but for now, just set it aside. Try to let it go. It's normal if your mind wants to wander throughout the practice. And if it does, just acknowledge it. And then try to bring your attention back to your breathing. Sometimes it helps to count your breaths. Or to just repeat, I am breathing in. I am breathing out. Take another full inhale and exhale. Let it go. Inhale, lift up your gaze, plant your hands down beside you and start to walk yourself back up. Move slowly here, no need to rush. And then we'll meet in a tabletop position on hands and knees. So you can either bend your knees and take a cross at your ankles to roll over your legs, or you can just shift yourself to one side and then press into a tabletop position. Shoulders over top of your wrists and hips over top of your knees. We'll just do a few rounds of cat-cow. So spread your fingertips nice and wide. Grip the pads of your fingers into the mat and press the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale For cow, arch your spine, gaze forward. Exhale, cat. Gaze through your thighs, round your spine. Inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your gaze. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale and exhale. Once more, inhale and exhale. Come back to a neutral tabletop position. Place your left hand directly under your nose and then reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, thread your arm underneath your left shoulder and ear, come down to the mat, and you can walk your left hand towards the top of the mat. Shift your hips over to the right to deepen pose. Bring your hand back in towards you. Press into your palm to lift yourself back up, tabletop. This time, place your right hand underneath your nose. Reach your left arm up towards the ceiling. Follow with your gaze. Exhale, thread your arm underneath, lower shoulder and ear to the mat, and then walk your right hand towards the top. Bring your hand back in towards you. Press yourself back up, tabletop. Child's pose, big toes together, knees as far apart as you would like. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward. Melt your chest and your forehead down towards the mat. Relax your arms. Let there be a bend in your elbows. And see if you can sink your hips even closer towards your heels. Walk your hands in. Move nice and slow. Bring your knees in together and then sit your hips over to one side so you can swing your legs out in front of you. You might want to move your hips up closer towards the top of the mat so you can come to lie on your back and have your block within arm's reach of you. Straighten out both of your legs. Have your hands beside you. And then draw your right knee in towards you. Give yourself a squeeze. Hold on to your leg with your left hand. Bring your right arm into a T. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, twist over to the left. You can place your block or a pillow or anything underneath your knee to support you here, or you can just let it hang in the air, or perhaps it comes all the way down to the ground. Try to keep your shoulders and your head glued to the mat. Gaze can stay up ahead or over your right shoulder. Use a little bit of core strength to help come back through to center. Switch legs, extend your right leg out long and bend and hug your left knee in towards you. And just start by giving yourself a squeeze and maybe rocking side to side, massaging out the front of your thigh and the joint. Extend your left arm into a T or a cactus-like shape and carry your knee over to the right, supine twist. Gaze can stay up ahead or over your left shoulder. And always the option to bend your right knee if this is a bit of too intense of a stretch at this moment. Use a little bit of core strength to help guide your knee back up. And extend your legs back down. Take a moment of pause. Then bend both knees. Grab a hold of your block and lift your hips up just enough to slide the block underneath you. Should be resting roughly on your tailbone, not too far up the small of your back or too far down. So somewhere nicely underneath your hips on the lowest setting. And then you can either choose to stay here in supported bridge pose, or you can start to draw your knees in towards you and then lift your feet up towards the ceiling for a waterfall or legs up the wall. You can keep a nice, soft, or generous bend in your knees and let your feet relax naturally. No need to flex or point. This is a great pose to do after standing a lot, or if you've been on your feet all day. It's a great pose to wind down and do before bed. Helps relax the nervous system. You can stay in your waterfall for as long as you would like, or if you would like to transition into a traditional Shavasana, start to lower your feet back down to the mat. Lift up your hips just enough to slide the block out from underneath you, and straighten your legs. Take up as much space as you would like to on your mat, and allow yourself to get comfortable. Close down or soften your gaze. And let every part of your body be heavy and be supported by the ground underneath you. This is where I will leave you today. Stay for as long as you need. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.